Welcome back. Today is beef bulgogi day. Let's turn up the heat. To prep this up first, we'll need to start with the steak. All I have here is a 1 pound ribeye. That tends to lean on the pricier side, so if you want a little bit more of an affordable steak, you could switch this out for a flat iron or a strip steak. Flat irons will tend to match the marbling, and a strip steak tends to be pretty tender and tasty. All I'm doing here is removing some of that excess fat along the outside of this steak. And now I'm just going in here, slicing lengthwise. Slice this ribeye really thin as you can make it. This steak is going to be cooked hard in a hot pan until well done, and that means the thinner this beef, the quicker it will cook. And then that should result in less moisture loss. Take each one of those slices and cut them in half. Once all the beef is cut up, collect it all and toss it into a bowl large enough to hold the steak and the marinade. This marinade is going to consist of 2 tablespoons of soy sauce. This should pretty much cover your salt for the beef. 1 tablespoon of brown sugar, just for the little touch of sweetness. 2 teaspoons of mirin, that's just a sweet rice wine. It's just gonna add a little bit of flavor. 1 teaspoon of black pepper. 3 garlic cloves, grated down on a microplane, just like this. 2 teaspoons of sesame oil, a half tablespoon of honey, and 1/2 of a pear. This should technically be an Asian pear, but if you can't find one like me, a bosc pear should work. All this pear is doing is just adding a bit of sweetness and also tenderizing that meat while it sits. There's an enzyme within that pear that's going to get into those protein muscle fibers, break it down, and make it really tender. Just grate half of that pear into the bowl, and now we need to cut up 2 things. The first being a half an onion, sliced thinly, just right around a half cup. Now the last ingredient won't be getting tossed into this marinade, but it is going to be getting tossed into this steak at the end of the cooking process. Just take 1 bunch of scallions and slice them into 2-inch pieces. Now that that steak and that marinade are sitting in that bowl, just mix them all together. After it's mixed and that steak is completely coated, let this sit for about 30 minutes. After it sits, now we need to cook, so just drop a pan down on high heat. Once that pan is very hot, you can add your beef directly into that pan. Spread that meat evenly over the pan to make sure everything's getting cooked. And now without touching it, let this beef cook for about 2 minutes. This is just gonna let some of those excess juices and liquid to evaporate and allow that Maillard reaction and that caramelization to take place. After 2 to 3 minutes, get back in there, toss that beef around, cook it through, cook it for about another 2 minutes, tossing after each minute. Now you can see that beef is browned, any excess liquid is cooked off, and it's just beautiful. And now to finish this off, you can throw in those scallions from earlier. Just give these a toss for about 30 seconds to a minute. Turn that heat off, and boom, you got yourself some savory, peppery, sweet bulgogi that you can finish off with a little bit of sesame seeds, and now you got yourself dinner. While that was going on off camera, I just threw on some rice, and now you got yourself a nice little meal that came together super easy and super fast. I've been waiting for this since I started. Here we go, just the beef. 1 bite, perfect. Wow, that right there, this beef, something special. It's super tender, it's sweet, it's salty. Man, it's hitting all the notes. That onion adds a slight crunch. Whew, delicious. I know I made rice, but honestly, you don't even really need it. You gotta give this a thumbs up. If you like this video or you're gonna try it, smash it, smash that thumbs up for me, smash that subscribe button as always, and until next time, peace.